This is Rap the News. Do not judge. We are going to clarify that, means make it clear. We're going to start with 2 Chronicles 19:6. And said to the judges, take heed what you do. Be careful. For you judge not for man. You ain't doing nothing to please man whatsoever. Or, to get men benefit or to condemn men. But for the Lord who is with you in the judgment. How is God with you in the judgment? Meaning that you are judging by the book. Isaiah 42:1. Behold, my servant, that means you serving God, whom I uphold, my elect, not everybody, my elect, in whom my soul delighteth. That's very few. I'm talking about you might be able to count them on one hand. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. But it is whose judgment? God's judgment. So judging is what I'm talking about when I said don't judge. I'm not talking about judgment, which is God's righteous judgment. Judging definition, to form an opinion. God never told us to form an opinion about his creation. A conclusion or verdict about someone. No, it's wrong right off the bat. We don't form an opinion. What did God tell us? Test the spirit to see if it's from God, right? Not to form an opinion before you can test based off of the fatness, based off of the blackness, based off of the hair type, based off of the whiteness, based off the eye color, the height. When you form an opinion, you're going to pay a price. And that's why I'm telling you don't judge. Condemnation definition, to expression of very strong disapproval to sentence. So anyway, expressing a very strong disapproval and sentencing someone. Meaning what? You fat. That's a judgment. But it also could be a truth. You're a whore. It's a judgment. But it also can be a truth. What did Jesus tell the whore? He said, sin no more. Did he call her a fucking stupid whore? No. He just said, go and sin no more. Because basically, you don't have to be the whore. You're playing the role of whore. Get out of the role. Right? Righteous judgments is to pronounce judgments on people according to the scriptures only. And then that's why God is with you in your judgment. You're not judging because you formed an opinion about the creation of God. God created the devil. And he also created angels and you. Okay. Ezekiel 22:31. Therefore, their own way, what is way? However you judge, whatever you do, however you act, however you conduct yourself, have I recompensed upon their heads, says the Lord God. You take it to the face. Either it's going to be nice and pleasant, or it's going to be painful and wrath. You're deciding. Again, this is what God is saying. This is how I created the universe, says God. Whatever you put in, that's what you get out. Whatever you put in the ground, if you put an apple seed, an apple going to grow out of there. If you put an orange are going to grow out. If you put a strawberry cake into the oven, you're going to pull a strawberry cake out. This is common sense. And so what is he saying? However you're acting is however I'm going to recompense you. That's how I'm paying you back. I used to think that You got to get over on people before they get over on you, because this is how society trains us to be. You got to get them before they get you. You got to break up with them before they break up with you. You got to diss them. You got to lord it over them. You got to take it from them, because society taught me to be that way. But God is teaching me something different. He said that way don't work. Because when you go and knock somebody the fuck out, then somebody gonna come knock you the fuck out. That's the way God is. That's fair. That's just. That's right. That's called righteousness. You kill somebody with the sword, you shall be killed with the sword. You lead somebody into captivity, you shall be taken to captivity. That's how it works. Who understands? So this is your own way. You are a hater because of color, then you get hated because of your color. And so I want to say this before I continue. I'm going to say it. I had a couple of enemies who were pastors. Let's say it like that. They were pastors. And I couldn't stand their bloody guts, and they couldn't stand mine. But we were in the same congregation. And so every week we walked past them, and I flipped them off in my mind. Fuck them. Fucking scumbag ass, thieving ass, fucking money grubbing ass motherfuckers. That's what I'm thinking going to service. I said my prayers and everything and to the Lord, and then I go back. When I walk past them again, fuck them. And that went on for years. One of them owned the congregation, the place. And I said one day to myself, the Spirit spoke to me and said, how long y'all gonna hate each other? How long? I mean, this is generations. Like my father was hated. It was generations. And so it's like it has to stop. And so one day I just walked in on them in a meeting. Hey, get out of here! What are you doing? They went berserko squad. They had no idea what I was doing. And I walked in there and I said, "Peace, peace. I'm tired of fighting. Peace." I said that with Lex. I say that with a lot of people. You see that we fight, and all I want to do is spread the righteous judgments of God. After that, I said my piece. We can go on about our business. It's peace after that, because I did do my work according to the Lord. Okay, so I went in there and I said, peace. I don't have no beef against you. I know you've been beefing with my father. I know you've been beefing with me, and that beef started with my father, and it carried on to us. I don't even know why we so mad at each other. And I said, we only human. We have made mistakes. We not perfect. So give me a chance, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to let go of all that past shit. And so every time I see you, I'm coming to shake your hand with a smile. That's what I said. And then they were so reluctant. That's good, but you just don't come in here and you don't knock on the door. They still want to hold on to that grudge. And so every week I greeted them with a smile. Next week, a smile. See, it was met with resistance at first. And then after a while, bam. It was a handshake and then an embrace. That never happened before. Now we embracing each other. Hey, how you doing? We having little light conversations and stuff like that. They invited me to be on the board and all of that. Which I declined, but nevertheless, that's what works. I put some good out, and then good came back to me. And so me and my wife, we used to argue like cats and dogs. Just going crazy. No, I'm right. You need to, you know what I mean? I'm the boss. And so we just going back and forth. I'm leaving. Everybody always leaving. So one day I just said, what is the exact problem? Because I wake up in the morning and she be over there sleeping. I'm like, look at her. Look at her. She ain't shit. She ain't about shit. But that's the devil. And that's how the devil is judging her. And then my brain said, why do you feel that way about her? And then the Spirit spoke and said, you know what? That's the same way she thinking about you. You ain't about shit. Blah, 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 blah. That's the devil. And I said, why don't you stop judging your wife? So I'm happy to have the Spirit of God on me that tells me the right thing. A lot of people, they don't have the Spirit. That's why they the Nephilim. That's why they Gentiles. A lot of Gentiles don't have the Spirit. Very few. And so I'm happy that that Spirit comes and tells me the right thing. Why don't you just say, hey, look, I'm not going to judge you no more. And so I went to my wife and I said, hey, honey, sweetie, let me talk to you for a second. I said, look, I don't care if you don't have money. I don't care if you don't have a job. I don't care if you wear these type of clothes or those type of things. I don't care if you picked up a little weight here. I don't care if you got stretch marks because of the kids or whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to judge your body. I'm not going to judge your look. I'm not going to judge your position, your money, your color, nothing, your hair. I'm going to stop judging you. So I said that to my wife. And then the arguments decreased at least by 70%. Judgments was the reason we were arguing so much. And then it got to the real issues like money and raising your children and everything else. But when we were judging each other, it was always, fuck you, nigga. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. And I start saying the opposite. I give a fuck. And I'm going to prove that. You know what I mean? And so judgments don't work like that. Those ain't the judgments God wants us to judge each other with. Isaiah 59:18. According to their deeds, accordingly, he will repay. So if I go be ugly to my wife, she's going to continue to be ugly to me. Even if I'm in charge, why is she going to respect me if I'm ugly to her? If I go be nice to her, not practicing God's righteous judgments, which he told us to be kind to each other and not to argue or dispute with each other, and to be on the same mindset, me and my wife get along fine now when we listen to God. Mark 4:24. And he said unto them, take heed what you hear. With what measure you met, with whatever you put out to them, it shall be measured to you. And unto you that hear shall more be given. If you can understand this, you're going to get more out of life. And so again, then take heed of what you hear right now. What measure you met, does it always have to be evil for you evil thinking people? No, why don't you measure an abundance of good out there? I say to people, you know what you gave in donations. May God bless you with 10 times more. And they look at me funny. Or they take it the wrong way. He just saying some magical words after a donation. I'm going to say this again. I don't give a fuck for the donation. If we didn't have to deal with money, I just would not. Do I care about paying the bills? And yes, I do. But at all of the fucking hell that you got to go through just for someone to be nice, then the donation's not worth it. I just want someone to be nice. And this is how God wants you to give. He said, don't let your left hand see what your right hand is doing. You know what that means? It means that when you are giving something to somebody and being nice to somebody, never mention it, because you lose your blessing. You're mentioning it, Rap, I gave $50. You mentioning it because you need a reward. Oh, that brother, he got $50. He gave $50. And then God said, that is your reward. You wanted people, that's what you put in, you measured this in, you wanted people to say, he gave. That's the only recompense you get out. Now, if you plant righteously and you gave 50, God will increase it because you did it from your heart for the love of God instead of doing it to be seen of men. You know. So again, according to your deeds, accordingly he will repay. And then take heed of what you're hearing. However you measure it out, brother and sister, it will be measured to you. And unto you that can hear, more shall be given. So I'm going to increase with goodness. I'm not going to say what I gave or what I did. And then I want to see what the Lord Most High God is going to do. And God, every word is a promise. You are going to damn receive. And it's going to be measured to you. You did it with gladness and a kind heart, and somebody nicely is going to pay your ass in full. More than what you gave, because that's the God that we serving. He ain't the guy like, oh, nigga, you only gave $50, so fuck it, that's all I'm giving you back, nigga. You got it back, nigga, so shut up. That ain't the God we serving. We got to stop making God into the punisher because you a sinner. Make God into what he is. You breathing this air and living on this earth for free, motherfucker. You got hands and feet and eyes to see with them, and you could taste and enjoy yourself if you fucking relax. You know, that's the loving God that we serve. You know, that I serve at least. More shall be given to you. Matthew 7:2. For with judgment you judge. Now we're talking about judgment. So if I'm going to judge you according to my opinion, I don't like you because you're white. I don't like you because you Gentile. I don't, because a lot of people in the comments like that. It's like, it could be going nice in the comments. Gentiles can come and say nice things, and then other people in the comments say nice things, and then it's just, I don't like you because you're black. I don't like you because you're white. Then it's those motherfuckers, man, that ruin everything. Just because we enemies, it doesn't mean that we cannot be civil. God didn't put that in there. Your enemies, therefore, thou shalt not be civil. He just said if your enemies do this, then you can retaliate. If your enemies do that, then you can retaliate. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. It's because that's what they putting out. That's why they're going to receive it back. They took you into slavery. They're going to go into slavery. Whether they like it or they don't like it. They put you in chains, they're going to be in chains. They hated you, they're going to get hated on. It has to happen, people. And then for your family members that you're not dealing with, God said he ain't taking your black ass out of the earth, or your white ass out of the earth, or your yellow ass out of the earth, or your red ass out of the earth until you recompense your brother with kindness. And I have these dreams over and over, and I'm sick of having those dreams, man. Where family members we don't deal with is always at my house, man. And I'm so uncomfortable in the dream. Because in life, I at least owe them this testimony right here. You know, let me tell you what God said. And then if they want to act like assholes after that, they can. For with judgment you judge, you shall be judged. So I'm going to judge you according to the book. If God said you was a devil, I'm going to say you a devil. If God said you was an enemy, I'm going to say you the enemy. It doesn't have anything to do. That's righteous judgment. God is not going to condemn me for that. You know, you said something I didn't like. That's your problem. I say a lot of things people don't like. You shall be judged. And what measure you met, it shall be measured to you again. But then, like he said above, if you can hear, more shall be given to you. You know, and we can't use this, okay, this is evil. Only evil people is worried about evil coming back to them. I'm not evil, so I ain't worried about that bullshit. Luke 6:38, give and it shall be given to you. Good measure for what the same measure that you met with it shall be measured to you again. So it's telling you whatever you put out is going to come back to you. Then you should, if you know how the system works of God, you should put out nothing but good. So good can happen to you the rest of your life. Not that you ain't going to go through trials and tribulations from God, but at least you ain't going to get punished. The best provision is righteous conduct, is what God is saying. If you want to provide for yourself, it ain't a college education, dumbass. It ain't because you went to a seminar. It ain't because you joined some club and some shit like that. You know. It ain't green apples and red apples and all the rest of that bullshit they try to teach you. Deuteronomy 28:1. It shall come to pass if you will hear diligently, hearken unto the voice of the Lord, to observe to do all his commandments, which he commands you this day, that the Lord is a promise to you, thy God will set you high above the nations, all of them, of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on you, and overtake you, You have nothing, you can't stop it. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed thou shalt be in the field. Everywhere you go, these blessings is going to follow you. Blessed shall be the fruits of thy body, and the fruits of the ground, and the fruits of thy cattle, and the increase of thy kind. People say, well, I'm suffering in the body because you eating the wrong food, jackass. God told you to eat righteously as well. And the flocks of thy sheep. If you eat blessed food, your body going to be blessed. You're going to eat all of them byproducts and additives and preservatives that's inside the food. Well, that's why you're going through what you're going through, sir, ma'am. Blessed shalt thou be in thy store. Blessed shalt thou be when you come in, and blessed shalt thou be when you go out. The Lord shall cause thy enemies to rise up against you, to be smitten before your face. Smite they asses. They shall come against thee one way and run 7 motherfucking ways to get the fuck away from you. That's how they go out here. You coming in on your feet, but you're gonna leave on your back. The Lord shall command these blessings upon you in your storehouses, and everything that you set your hand on to. He shall, my mother told me that today. That's what she told me. She said, everything you touch turn good. In the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, the Lord shall establish thee as an holy people unto himself, as he hath sworn. So just like I said, it is a promise. And the thing is, and you shall not have serve other gods. That's just the main thing. Don't go to the left or go to the right to serve any other gods. Don't go aside from the commandments. The moment you break the commandments, he said, your righteousness won't save you. I was righteous. I just did one thing. It won't save you. God's foot is coming to kick you up your ass for that sin, especially when you know better. So, again, judging is forming an opinion. That ain't what God wants. Or a conclusion or a verdict. And a verdict is condemnation. You don't want to condemn people because you're going to be condemned. You want to put out exactly what you want to receive. Start being nice to people who ain't so nice to you. Everybody understand that? Love y'all. This is Raptor News.